And speaking of customizing those reports, we have a tool called the Report Writer built into Tempo 5. It will allow you to design reports, create your own flyers within the system. As an example that you're seeing here, and I know it's not real pretty, but that's actually what it looks like underneath the hood. This is an example of the cover letter that we have. If you don't like it, you just select the paragraph you want. You change the text. You can add different font sizes to it, different colors to it, just like you can in any basic word processor, and then give it a unique name and save it, and then you have your own unique cover letter that you can incorporate into your CMAs going forward. So again, customization is pretty much, up to you in this particular system. If you're into the contact manager portion, we have a new contact manager built in. You can add your contacts. There's a lot of information now you can add about contacts, like what their preferences are, when the contacts' birthdays are, what they're interested in. Things you normally would find in a contact management program are now built into Tempo 5. You can import and export your contacts. You can even print out your detailed records of all the contact information, and you can print mailing labels out of your contact record also. And trust me, it's a lot easier than a mail merge. If you can make sure you get the right labels and put them in your printer correctly and click one button, you're good to go. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be printing them anyway. When you are creating your contacts in Tempo 5, they're managed really nicely. I mean, I'm a big, strong advocate of contacts because once they're in there, everything you do in Tempo kind of gels around them. So this is a contact who's named James Bond, affectionately. And when I click on his name from my contact record, which is right here, so if I click on his name, the page I get looks like this, and there are tabs across the top of that page, and each one of those tabs contains information based on something you've done to that contact, like the email history, like any saved searches you've created for them, any CMAs that you created for them. So put the contact in, and Tempo will then find a way to kind of gel everything to it. So it really benefits you to do that. As far as prospecting goes, in Tempo 5, we've created another wizard for you, like the CMA wizard. It's very simple. Read the screen, figure out which type of prospecting event you need to create, click the next button, and just simply follow the steps. So there's different types of prospecting events. Choose, again, the one that works for you, and just work your way through the wizard. It's pretty much self-explanatory. One of the steps in the wizard talks about setting up auto notification, and we've changed some things here for you. Auto notification, now you have flexibility in how often those emails go out to your clients. You now have an option called ASAP, which means basically if you've got a prospecting search set up and another agent adds a listing in that matches your prospecting search, if you have ASAP set up, it will send that listing to your client within 30 minutes of that listing agent submitting that listing in the database. So it's a real quick way to do it. You also have a daily option, which is now 1 time a day, not 4. It's 1 time a day. But remember, you have the ASAP option if you wanted to do faster than that. But it's once a day, but you can now pick the days that you want those to go out on. So you can choose Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, or whatever you want to do with auto notification. Throttle it up, throttle it down, based on your needs. So again, more flexibility for you. The client gateway or the client web page that you've been using, big change here. It is now a real-time search when your client gets it. So when your client gets this web page and they click on the link that says View Properties, they're going to see what properties currently match their search at that given moment. If a property adds, they see it. If it disappears, it's no longer in their list, kind of like you would expect it to work. Also, for you folks that change search criteria for your clients, in the way that it works today, you have to actually delete the search and re-add a new one in. In Tempo 5, if you change the criteria, the minute you save it, your client gateway, your web page updates with that current criteria. So again, it works like you would expect it to work, right? Because remember, it's a real-time search. It's like you going in and setting up a search, you want to see the properties, that's basically what your client is doing. They can still categorize properties, they can still add notes, and we've added a tutorial that they can watch to see how to do all this stuff effectively. A lot of customization in Tempo. This is, further down the road. Once you get familiar with it, you will be able to set up some default settings where, you can create your own search form to meet your own needs and then make it your default so it comes up every time. You can create your own columns in the search results, and then if you want those to always appear instead of the MLS-defined ones, you can actually create some of that. So there's a lot of little tweaks that you can do that you can never do before. Add edit. Here's another big change to add edit. When you add a listing into the Tempo 5 system, the first thing that you're going to be asked to do after picking the property type is to auto-populate the tax data from the records. So this will be a screen that will come up. You will choose the county and you will search for that particular property by the owner name or the address or the parcel number. And as soon as you click OK, it'll go out to the real list tax records. It will find that record in the property, and then you will auto-populate that information into the listing form itself. In the long run, that'll make things more consistent and more accurate going forward. Speaking of the listing form, this is what it looks like. Again, it's another form. You put it in a form, you search for it in a form. Just remember, your new buzzword today is form. So it's not password. The word is form. That's dating me, isn't it? Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about there. The listing form itself is very simple. We have a bunch of required fields like we do today. All the required fields have R's next to them. They will be red if you have not filled anything in. They will be green once you fill them in. Again, like the password game, if you make add edit a game where you make all the red dots turn to green dots, you win the game. It's that easy. So think about it. Just follow the Yellow Brick Road. Very simple. Peggy is going to walk you through this in her demonstration today, so just stay tuned with that. It's really cool and it's really easy. Do not fear add edit. It's different, but it's very easy. Speaking of add edit, I'm not going to take all of Peggy's thunder here, but if you see that picture of that big bright red bedroom right there, that is a 6 megabyte photo. I can now add photos up to 6 megabytes in the MLS system. So now, should there be any reason to resize it? Probably not. Not only can you add photos up to 6 megabytes, you can zoom them in and zoom them out so you can get rid of that car on blocks or that garbage can you didn't want to have in the picture. You can also add an image name to it, like this would be bedroom 2. And then you can add comments underneath it with up to 255 characters. And if you look really close to the right of the comments, there's a spell check option. Woohoo! By the way, in the add edit form also, when people are typing in remarks, there's also spell checks there too. So everywhere there's a text field, there's a spell check. So no excuse for bad spelling, okay? So use the spell check. And if you look on the top of the screen, all the pictures are in a film strip. So when you load them up, you actually see the picture now. That makes sense, doesn't it? And then you can reorder them by just clicking on them and just moving them in whatever order you want to. So primary is the first one. Everything else is there. Guess what? Tempo Media is now in the 21st century, okay? Everybody gets their own agent website in Tempo 5, by the way. Didn't know that, did you? You don't have to use it, but guess what? You will have one if you want one. This is an example of one that I created. I chose the Rockies up there to give the appearance that I actually know what I'm talking about. I see my picture and my fake company name up there. You will be able to have this as a free part of your Tempo 5 system. It's a very simple plug-and-play website. You can fix the content in the middle of it. And across the top navigation, you see property search. That's an IDX property search. Consumer can go out and search the MLS system through there. Your My Listings will display all of your listings, and My Office Listings will display all of your office listings. And then you've got some different sections that you can customize, and you can be as creative as you want to with the website. It's done in a very simple dashboard. There's only a couple of buttons. This is all it is to setting it up. Click the button, do what it says, and go to the next step. It's very, very simple to set it up. 30 minutes or less, you can have your website rocking and rolling. And by the way, we host the website, so you don't even have to pay for anything like that. So now, if you want to buy a domain and have them type something else besides what we give you, that's cool too. But in other words, if you don't want to spend the money, we host it, and you've got an instant website. This is what it looks like from the consumer side when they are searching for a property via the IDX solution. On the left-hand side are the property types. They pick the property type. There is what the consumer search form looks like. And when they click search, they will see a report that looks like this. I've split this up so you can see the top part and the bottom part. The top part is just the basic information about the property, the picture, the virtual tours, and so on and so forth. There's even a little mortgage calculator they can play with. And then on the bottom of the screen, it's got your mugshot, your company logo, and your information. And anytime they find a property on your website and they want more information, you are the contact person for that particular property. So, it's all part of the package. If you want to use it, that's great. It's not going to cost you anything except your time and effort to create it. If you don't want to use it, that's your choice also. Do your pros and cons list. If you're paying the 13-year-old down the street $200 to host your website every month, change it. Maybe it's be a little cheaper for you. So it's up to you. So those are some of the cool things that are coming in Tempo 5 in a very, very short while. We hope that you've seen that some of these can be used to your benefit and will help you and make things more efficiently going forward in your experience. I'm done with my fun stuff. Peggy needs to come up now and do her fun stuff. So if you would be kind enough to give Peggy Farron your attention for the next couple of minutes, and she'll show you the cool stuff too. Thanks.
Jay's shown you the bells and whistles, and I'm going to show you how to do those things. I think in about every class I've ever taught at PPAR, I've always said that if you are working in a new program, we have new agents coming in, it's something new, stop and look at the screen. Don't panic when there's something new and different. Just look at the screen. What buttons can I click on? What links can I go to? That type of thing. So the screens will look different, but I will show you how they work, and hopefully you'll be familiar enough with them to where you shouldn't panic when you see them. When you log into the MLS on Tempo 5, the first thing you see is the home page. The home page is where you can save a whole lot of keystrokes. So you can do a lot of things right from here. Jay mentioned the hot sheet and so on. You can go in here, and if you need to look up an MLS number, all you do is go in and just type it in. And then hit the green arrow, and you'll go right to that particular listing. You can also put multiple MLS numbers in. You separate them with a comma. But unlike the way we'd have to do it now, where you can't put any spaces around a comma, you can put whatever. 1 space, 2 spaces, no spaces, it makes no difference. As long as there's a comma in between MLS numbers, you're good. You also can go in here and search by address. So you're looking up a particular property, you stay right on the home page, and the street name is the part that is required. You can put in a street number. You can put in a range of house numbers, so I can put in a particular street number. I can put in a range of house numbers, separate them with a hyphen, and you can look up a property that way. That's quick and easy. Notice right below that is an option to show on-market listings only. On-market listings are active first right, under contract, and the new status, under contract short sale. So now we have a status just for that one. So if you want only the on-market listings that are in the MLS, you'd check the box. If you want everything that's ever happened on that particular street or at those addresses, whatever, you leave this unchecked and you just click the green arrow, and it goes directly to the search results screen and shows you exactly how many properties are listed on that particular street. Now, as Jay mentioned, you can sort your columns. So if I wanted to see all the actives together, all I do is go to status, click on it, and it just sorts them and puts them in status order. Very easy. I could reverse sort those as well, but I can put them in alpha order so I can see that there's 4 active listings, and then I see a bunch of canceled and so on. You also, from the home page, if you want to do a search, it's not necessary to go up here and click the search icon, although you can. You can also